When it's time to buy or sell your next home, why not align with some of the best? Joining us today is the Alliance Real Estate team. Thank you for being here, guys. Brad, why don't you get us started by introducing us?
Absolutely, thank you. My name's Brad Essex. Next to me is Nick Laporte. At the end is my brother, Ryan Essex. Ryan and I both hail from Jackson, Michigan. We've been in the trades combined almost 25 years apiece. Ryan started his career at John Gann's Countryside, worked there for a long time. I've done various things. I've been in the water treatment industry. I've been in heating and cooling, and along with doing construction. Nick actually hails from Sheboygan, Michigan. After serving 7 or 8 years in the Navy, came to Jackson, finished up his degree at Eastern. From there, he went on to work at the casino, and about 2 years ago, we partnered together to form our company now, and then we've expanded into the Alliance Real Estate team.
Yes, the Alliance Real Estate team, you have a very diverse background. And when we were talking a little bit off camera, you were telling me you kind of got into real estate a little bit backwards. So tell us about that.
Absolutely. Traditionally, more times than not, a realtor will get into real estate because they like the aspect of sales, negotiation, the flexibility sometimes of the schedule, just meeting people and helping them to find the right place. We did it backwards. So we actually learned the ins and out of every home, how they're built, how they work, the electrical, the plumbing, the heating, cooling. We did that, and now we went on to add real estate into our mix from that side.
Yeah, I like what Ryan was saying earlier. You're new to you're new realtors, but you're not new to real estate. You've bought and sold many homes between the three of you, so this just comes second nature to you.
Correct, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done several flipped houses, also a lot of construction, large scale, and also handyman service. So
That's certainly a compliment to your real estate services. Nick, tell us a little bit about how you work with sellers.
sure, we have a handyman service. It's called the Handyman Company. We can come in and modernize your house or just do some light sprucing up, whether it be painting the old trim. That's we call it de-oaking, where we get rid of that oak of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and maybe paint it white, or replace some switches, receptacles, get rid of that the old yellow almond colors and brighten it up with white. Possibly paint your cabinets, maybe paint a room. Really the options are endless, but for a good budget, for budget friendly, we can do a lot of things and really maximize the value of your home.
Right, yeah, that's what you and I were talking about earlier too, is we were talking about someone could just invest a little bit in their home before they put it on the market, and they could really see that value at the closing table. Maybe double what they spent on the repairs or more, they could get that back at the closing table. So
yeah, definitely.
That's a great service.
A good example, we just did a house on Woodbridge, and the house was on the market with a tenant for about a year, and there really wasn't much movement, no interest. I think it was on the market for about 56 or 59 with a tenant. We talked to the owner and said, what would a budget be that you'd be willing to put into it? And we came to a price where we thought $4,500 would be a good part for him and us, that we could really maximize it. And then so we put $4,500 into the home. We redid some carpet, painted a lot of stuff, cleaned up some things, changed some receptacles and some lighting, and it went on the market for $84,900, and it got a full asking offer. So that will be closing here at the end of the month.
Yeah, so that's a little bigger projection even than I just gave. That's incredible.
Yeah, so with his $4,500 investment, within a month or 45 days, he made almost $30,000 difference.
Right, that's incredible.
Dealing with sellers, oftentimes they have a need to move, obviously. So we often come in and help them decide if they need to put money into the house to get it ready for listing or not. Sometimes people think they need to spend money, but they don't necessarily have to put money in. So it's a welcome for them not to have to deal with those additional costs while they're trying to move or sell. So we can come in. Ryan has his general contractor's license. Brad's had a mechanical license and is very fluent with plumbing, electrical, things like that. So we can all come together to that selling meeting, and we're not really sold on having to tell them that they need to do this amount of work to sell. They may not think their house is functional for their family, and we can maybe do a addition or just change the flow of their house with maybe putting walls in or out or redoing the kitchen, and they could possibly stay in their house. So a benefit of us is we don't necessarily have to have that sale to get our commission for that family. We can come in and, you know, explain to them that maybe they don't really need to move as much as they think they have to move.
I really think this service would be great for sellers who maybe are selling their parents' home or their grandparents' home, and they don't have time to do those repairs they need to see that home get sold for the most money. So that's exceptional. And then this is something that you can really translate into working with buyers. Is that right?
Yes, when people are looking to buy a home, yes, we are. It's a big change, and it's time. It's ready to find a house that obviously that has good bones, but also that meets, you know, your design that you're looking for also, which is also important too in the moving process. So when someone's looking to buy, typically, you know, you would call your realtor, you would go through the house, you would say, "Oh, I really like this house, but it's going to cost a fortune to redo." And people throw out some imaginary numbers. You know, they're going to say it's a fortune. Well, what's a fortune? So now, with our customers, we're able to go into a house. We're able to say, well, what don't you like about it? And we can give them a price right then and there. And so then when we leave, we don't have to. You're not leaving and having to call your contractor or call your plumber, or call your electrician, and call your. So we're able to come with you at one time, kind of streamline some of this process to give you a price then and there to see if that house does make sense, it's going to fit your needs. Or also the other part too is if, say, you have a budget of $300,000 and there's just nothing you can find, but say we can find a house with the same size, you know, at a cheaper price, but you're ready to put some money into the house. So say, you know, if you're at 300, but we can find you a house for 220, and you can put $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 into it to get the house you want for the price you want.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. Especially in this really demanding market. If you go and look at a house and then you want to come back with your contractor a few days later, it could already have an accepted offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, you can get some of that expertise right there at the showing. Yeah, that's great. It does make sense. A lot of times I think realtors, they've been a realtor for a long time and now they're an expert on homes. So you guys did do it a little bit backwards, but wow, what great services to offer home buyers and home sellers. And then you even took it a step further with your team because you've got the Optic property management. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we actually, in addition to do everything the handyman, we now apply it to investment properties as well. So if we have an investor that's looking, we're a full service, so we actually do it a little bit differently than everybody else. Our mowing, our plow services, our maintenance are all in-house. So that's not subbed out. We offer the emergency phone call for the after hours calls that, you know, the investors don't want to worry about.
Right.
So we can take care of that, and that's all included in one lump sum fee. We do it a little bit differently, so I mean, we'd love to share that if anybody's interested in, you know, touching base about that.
Yeah, well, you could really take someone through the whole process, help them find the home they even want to buy and rent out, get it all ready for them, and then you can manage it from there. That's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Investors wanted.
Absolutely. And we even, one example we always share is, you know, our parents who are older would love to get into some investment properties, but the uncertainties are what scare them.
Yes.
So yes, real estate is a very stable investment over a long term, but if you do not know the insides and the outsides, I mean, to mitigate those risks, that's the scary part of doing the first one. Yeah. So that's where Optic can come in, and we can, you know, add hopefully more investors into the real estate market.
Yeah, you're right. That's a great point. A lot of people are intimidated by real estate because they may not know how to maintain a home or manage the property, manage the tenants. It's a lot. So that's a great point. Nick, if someone would like to reach you, how can they find you?
Our phone number is 517-308-9793, and you can also find us on Facebook at Alliance Service Brands.
When you're ready to buy or sell a home or get that next handyman project completed, give the Alliance Service Brands a call.